Whoopsie. Whoopsie. That is the wrong me. Hello and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling, and just about anything and everything to keep you inspired and to keep you writing. Welcome. From the dawn of time we came, moving silently through the centuries, living many secret lives, struggling to reach the time of the gathering when the few that are left will battle to the last. No one has known we were among you until now. So very nice to see everyone. Nice to see that Ecamm is kind of working. We'll see how it does tonight. We have a very huge show for you. So much to do on one exciting hour of fountain pen content. We're going to be controversial. We're going to be provocative. We're going to talk about a very big subject, which is fake, clone, kind of counterfeity fountain pens. Those that masquerade as other pens, what it means, how to consider it, and we're going to talk about all the ramifications and everything else of that. We also are going to do an unboxing. I have a box from my buddy Yost Appleboom, who sent it to me, some fun stuff. I have no idea what's in here. Actually, I'm lying. I do have a pretty good idea of what's in here, but I didn't open it. And I'll share that with you, and it's stuff I'll make videos on shortly. So that should be a lot of fun. Also, by popular demand, at the end of the hour, I'll show you those very, very rare tarot cards that my wife picked up in Italy. I was going to have her on to tell you herself, but she has a cold and doesn't sound that great. So she did her best to brief me, and I'll do my best to let you know. So that should be super exciting. And there goes Ecamm, the worst streaming system ever. I still haven't fixed it. I know I need to change it. It's awful, but I just haven't got around to it. I want to thank Marcus Souza with $30 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, good night, everyone. Helping to keep the lights on. Indeed you are. The lights are burning bright thanks to Marcus Souza. Thank you very much. When will you receive the Wes Anderson Mont Blanc pen? Very good question, Marcus. I'd be happy to answer that. I think everyone's probably interested. And the quick story on that is that while I was in Italy, I got the call from Mont Blanc whether or not I wanted to buy the Wes Anderson fountain pen, and I couldn't turn it down. I said, yes, please. It was $2,600, which was no fun, but, I had to have it. Ecamm. Oh, I love Ecamm so much. It is just such a good, interesting, I don't know about good, but such an interesting fountain pen. I just couldn't let it by without knowing what it's like. So I decided to purchase it. You had to buy it in advance, and they're going to ship it in May of 2025. So it's about 6 months away. So it's an investment. It will come to me. So thank you, Marcus, for your support. Thank you all for the thumbs up. I see them flying by. Thank you for that. And also, if you watch this every week, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along on this journey with us. We go to some extraordinary places. Tonight, it's the provocative world of clone, fake, counterfeit fountain pens and how we should approach them, what we think about them. And that'll be fun to talk about. First, I'd like to show you a few things. Let's see if Ecamm will work with me tonight at all. Well, a little bit. I'm gone. I used to be in this shot, but that's okay. I want to show you what I've been using for my daily pen. I always update you each week. Boy, can I tell you, it's very, very difficult to walk away from this absolutely brilliant Waterman Edison fountain pen. Just so incredible. Come on, Ecamm. I really need Ecamm to work tonight. It is just the worst streaming service, guys. I'm so sorry. It goes out every week. It's wholly unreliable. And it's not me, I assure you. All my settings are perfect. It's just Ecamm. It's just terrible. And I'm actually thinking of making a video on how bad Ecamm is, because I feel like I need to get word out so people don't subscribe. Like, I'm paid up, and I'm kind of stuck with it unless I also pay up for something else. But the Watchman Edson, just such a great fountain pen. So smooth, so beautiful. Look at that. Always a perfect regulated ink flow. So also nice, geez, Ecamm, you're killing me. Killing me. I'm going to have to do a single shoot. I don't know how I'm going to show you everything, but I'm just going to have to do it in one camera, because Ecamm does not work, ladies and gentlemen. Write Ecamm and tell them they keep ruining my show. Okay. Get that out of the way. I just didn't want to keep turning on and off while we talked. So the Waterman Edson is such a beautiful, exquisite fountain pen. Just enjoy using it so much, and I just can't get away from it. I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to keep things moving. So this week's video on Thursday is very exciting. It's my top 5 favorite fountain pens. This is a list I do from time to time, and it always changes. Different pens rise, other pens fall. It's kind of fun to see the progression. I actually put all the lists in this video so you can see how certain pens rose and fell in popularity. It's pretty amazing. So that comes out Thursday at noon, and it is my top 5 favorite fountain pens and one fountain pen to rule them all. I think you'll enjoy that so much. I really do. I really do. I'm looking at some of the questions. I like to keep up with you guys. Lots of lovely people here. Alan Paris is here. Very good. I see. Oh, Anna Paradox hasn't been here for a while. Nice to see you. Debbie's here. Hello. John Manuel. I saw Ali J here earlier. Great Lakes Cruisers. Lots of great folks. Okay, what should I do next? Boy, I wish I had 2 cameras, but can't have it with Ecamm. Ecamm is the absolute worst streaming service. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to attack them. I'm not letting them get away with this. So, we're opening up the Apple Boom box. Get a nice note from Yost. Very nice of him. He sent one of these pens on my request. So I just appreciate the support of the channel. He sent a few other goodies as well. He's a very generous guy. Our buddy Yost, Appleboom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, guys. Kind of hard to say no to this, huh? Little Edelstein Golden Lapis ink. Yes, please. Love Pelican inks. Some of my favorites. Ooh. We got foam bumpers in here. But, yes. We can have a lot of fun with this. You know me. I'm kind of hot and cold with shimmer and shine. My daughter watches a show called Shimmer and Shine about genies. So every time I think of sheen and shimmer, I think of shimmer and shine. Genies divine. Because when you have a 7-year-old, these songs get embedded in your head. But, gosh, this is really beautiful. Vivid blue. That will be fun. Thank you, Yost. Very nice. He's been a great support for the channel. You might remember that the Lamy Safari video was really all through his auspices. So thank you. Bags. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I bet this is a pen. What do you think? Pen? This is fun. Oh, wow. It's like a gift wrapped like a gift. I love when gifts are wrapped as gifts. Very nice. Should we have some fun and use a tool that's a bit of overkill? We have a heli knife, one of my favorites. I forget which heli this is, but beautiful wooden handle. Extremely slicey dicey. Very sharp blade. Very nice indeed. Makes opening a chore. Makes it not a chore. Okay, this is exciting. What can it be? What could it possibly be? Did you see what a mess I make every time I do my show? Like after the show, there's like stuff everywhere. And then I have to put everything away. Because, ooh. What do you think of that? Diplomat. Ew. Very nice. Yes. Oh man, this is cool. Can you guys see this? Can you make this out? This is super fun. Okay. Textured. Look at that, huh? Isn't that gorgeous? Oof. Viper. Gorgeous. I want to make sure you can see it. You need a little contrast. Beautiful pen. Incredibly well machined. Lovely. What do we have for fill system? I'm pretty sure we'll find a converter, and we do. Nice converter here. Lovely. Thank you, Yoast. This will be fun. I'm going to definitely do some, textured. Can you hear that? Very nice. Wow, what a pen. Diplomat. Ooh, wow, this has an interesting cap, guys. Ooh, it's magnetic. Look at this. Watch this. Yes, it's so satisfying. I could do this all day. Oh, I wish I had a second camera. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, very nice. So there you have it. The Diplomat Viper. Thank you, Yoast. But there's another box. Can't wait to film with this. Snake themes are fun. That will be fun. One more box. Very light. Very, very light. What can it be? I have a pretty good idea what this is. Another box. Looks like a pen box, right? But it's very light. What do you think? I'm much less elegant with this one. Sorry. Let's put this away before I hurt myself. This is such a lovely tool. I always keep it handy for opening stuff. Ooh, you see what this is? I couldn't resist. Had to ask for that. Look at that, huh? Isn't it beautiful? Hufflepuff. Harry Potter. I know very little about Harry Potter, but my wife knows quite a bit. So I thought it would be fun to make a video on this. And Yoast hooked me up with some other stuff too. And it's an AL, which is becoming my favorite Lamy Safari. There's something about the aluminium that just elevates it. Should we pull it out of here? I like how it's sort of, what would you say, levitating in there? Okay, I have no idea how to get this out, so I'm going to skip it because I don't want to be boring. But expect a video on this once my wife briefs me on Harry Potter. So very, very exciting. Very indeed exciting. T. Charlton says, I would love to see a video on Harry Potter pen, and my wife will probably make me buy one. Yes, me too. So that's why I want to do it. I think it would be so fun for, it was very nice of Yost to send these over. He's a very generous guy, and he sent this. It just arrived yesterday. So I wanted to share that with all of you. Okay. There's something else I want to share. I'm just going to pop off camera for a sec. Sorry about that. But I forgot to bring it over when I was setting up. I'm back. So this was sent by Steve Ruckle, who's a lovely guy, a member here, and a friend of the channel. It's really funny. This book arrived, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, what's this book I ordered? Because I figured I ordered it. And I was like, I don't remember ordering this, but I do sometimes suffer from sort of midnight ordering where my defenses are down. I see something and I just order it. So I thought maybe it was that. But then it did have a gift card with it. And I was happy to see that Steve Ruckle sent me this. Looks like a lovely book. Haven't read it. Just got it. But it's pretty. So thanks, Steve. I wanted to recognize you and your generosity. Thank you. And if you guys are watching, please subscribe. Love to have you on this journey. Trying to get to 20,000. Then I might retire. I don't know. Might call it a day at 20,000 because that's pretty awesome. HJ10 is my discount code at Atlas too, guys. That's for you. That's a freebie. I'm kidding about the retiring thing, so don't worry about that. KG McLean says that book is on my list. So, George Hasser says it's a very good book. So, we're getting a lot of nice reviews of that book. So, thank you all for the thumbs up. Very, very happy tonight. What should I do next? Should I jump into the main topic or should I show you guys some tarot? I guess we'll do the main topic. Okay, let's get into some controversy. Who doesn't love a good controversy? And I have to say, this channel, we talk about things. And sometimes we stray into controversial territory. Sometimes I get a little cheeky. Sometimes I like to be provocative. Sometimes I like to, poke a little and see how we feel about stuff. What I never do, and I think you guys know this, is attack or demean anyone in any way. And one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about this week is that there were a couple people who got really bent out of shape in the comments from me mentioning this last week. And they were making all sorts of insinuations that I was, discounting people or whatever. And I just thought that was ridiculous. First of all of these pens I'll be speaking about tonight, I own a lot of them. So if I were casting dispersions, I wasn't casting very far. You know what I mean? I'm always hardest on myself, but this channel is designed to speak and think about every aspect of fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling. And that doesn't just mean the brighter parts of it. If something's bad or terrible or something worthy of us thinking about, then I'm going to bring it to our attention. It's not in any way meant to say that if you bought one of these, you're a bad person, because I've bought several. It's all very tempting, by the way. I'll tell you a story while researching and thinking about this topic this week. Over last weekend, I saw that there's a straight up counterfeit Mont Blanc Bohème on AliExpress. It's not even a clone or an homage. It's just straight up. And it's pretty good looking. And I was tempted. I was like, I should get that for the channel. And then I'm like, I don't want to put that money in their hands for what they did by stealing a design. So I guess I would say that, the hysterical people in my comments, just please take it easy. We're just talking about things. It doesn't mean that you're bad or I'm bad or anybody's bad if they've bought one of these. I think we all have done something along these lines. But it's interesting to consider it, I think. To be mindful about our purchases is a big part of what we do here. And to consider whether or not there are some purchases we should be making, I think. I just think that when a brand steals a design, just in any way, I think it's more egregious if they completely copy it. And early in my social media creation of videos, a company sent me some Mont Blanc pens that were very convincing at first, but then as soon as I unscrewed them, I realized what was going on. Now, that's probably the most egregious level of this. And I never showed it on camera because you can get in a bit of trouble here on YouTube if you're seen to promote any item that's not 100% legitimate in even for educational purposes. I know some watch channels were completely deleted for showing side by side real Rolexes and Rolexes that were inauthentic. So I won't ever show them just because of that. It scares me. I don't want the channel deleted. I just want to be 100% unimpeachable on that. That's YouTube's policy, so I can only tell you what my experience was. But in a cursory look, and it was a Mont Blanc Le Petit Prince, it looked pretty good. And then once you saw the converter and you looked at it with a loop, you figured out quickly that it was not genuine. But my problem is it's a range of pens that seek to usurp or copy other pens' designs. And it really bothers me when it's somebody like Wolfgang Fabian and Bert Spiegel who did the Safari, or Gert Mueller who did the Lamy 2000. These or Dante Del Vecchio, these designers, these people, not just committees, but people whose artistry and hours and their passion went into making a unique design that then some company elsewhere duplicates, riffs on, and otherwise copies. I think we should consider whether or not that's the best use of our money. And I have heard some compelling arguments as to why we should and why we shouldn't. I will say also that these pens can come from anywhere, but they seem to come from China these days, mostly. Certainly, Jinhao and Ma Jiangmu Man seem to be the big offenders of just blatantly taking other pens' designs. And I find that really disturbing. I mean, especially since like Jinhao as a company, I really quite like. I quite like Jinhao. I love their logo with the chariot. It's just so cool. And I feel like when they do make a design that's theirs, it's usually a decent design, decent pen. They're got to be one of the biggest nib manufacturers in the world now. They put out so much, so many different models. But you take something like their X159, which a lot of people like, but it's a blatant ripoff of a Mont Blanc 149. And they certainly could have produced something else. They could have squared off the top. They could have done a lot of things to make it distinct from an X159. Excuse me, to make it distinct from a 149, but the X159 relies on the conversation that it has with the 149. Without the Mont Blanc 149, there's no reason for the Jinhao X159. It's only exciting and interesting because it is a $6 version of a $1,000 Mont Blanc pen. Now, whether or not Mont Blanc should be charging $1,000 for their pens is a whole other conversation, which we will have. Actually, we have had, but we will have again. And whether or not a lot of these luxurious pen brands that charge these kind of sums, whether or not their pens are actually made where they're supposed to be made and made in the way that they're supposed to be made, well, enough people have toured their factories where I feel safe in that regard. It's not like handbags where we discovered that Dior is making $3,000 tote bags for $56 in sweatshops in rural Tuscany full of migrant workforces. You see? So you can play some games on the other end. But we're going to push all that aside. We are simply talking about stealing designs right now. Okay? So, what I'm saying is, it's not like, look, if you want to buy it, you buy it. You know, I own, how many X159s do I own? I own 4 because I had to keep buying them until they wrote right, because I kind of had bad luck with them. They were just terrible. So I just feel like, look, a lot of people think it's a good way of introducing yourself to a pen. I own the 149. I own the X159. Many of you do too. To me, they're their own thing. You know, they're their own thing. I don't feel like owning an X159 informs me much of what it's like to write with a Mont Blanc. It's a whole different experience. It's a different fill system. It's a different weight. The nibs feel different. They have the same general dimensions, but I just feel like it's better if you can to borrow one or to go to a pen shop and try it, or a pen show, or come over here, have a cup of tea, and I'll let you play with my pens, you know, that kind of way, rather than sort of encouraging these copies. I just feel, I don't feel right about it. I don't. It's sort of like, you know, LL Bean puts out a wax cotton jacket that looks a lot like a barber jacket. And it's like, if I'm going to spend even like $270 for an LL Bean jacket, I'm going to spend the extra money for a barber. I don't, philosophically, it doesn't sit right with me, philosophically. You know, and I bet it doesn't sit very well with, you know, Gert Mueller and Wolfgang Fabian to see copies of the Safari, for instance. The Safari that costs what? $20? But you can get it for $4. People are buying the copy. It's like, you know, it's just not honorable. Not the purchase, but the people producing it. You know, like, money's tough. I get that. But all things considered, I'd rather have the original. To me, things are things, and copies of things are like shadows. They're not the thing. They can give you a sense of the thing, but it's just not the thing. You know? And I know in the fake handbag world, that money goes to unsavory people doing unsavory things. It's not quite that level in our world. In our world, it's, you know, Jinhao and Majan who don't have a lot of presence as a brand. You know, I've researched them because I'm looking for some heritage. Hero has heritage in China. There's great vintage Hero pens. But Jinhao, Moonman, Majan, kind of hard to get to the essence of who they are and what their philosophy is. And I feel like they should spend more time coming up with original designs because their manufacturing capabilities are incredible. They're incredible. China's capable of anything. Remember, most of our high tolerance production, iPads, iPhones, etc., are made in China. They're very good at producing these items. What these companies are not good at is producing original designs. So, I'm not sure if you put out $6. I mean, if you put out $6 for an X159, does it give you a sense of what a 149 is like? It doesn't. It feels like a prop. It feels like a movie prop version. Matter of fact, I think in the Ripley TV series, it was on Netflix, I think they used an X159 to be a 149 because it didn't seem to have the star on it. But the rest of the experience is wholly different. It doesn't, writing with it is nothing like writing with the Mont Blanc. Weight's all wrong. I've said this a minute ago. Filling system, everything. The nib. So does it help you with dimensions? Maybe. If you want to spend $6 or $8 for that, then that's all you're getting. You're getting dimensions. So, I'm personally surprised that these get through customs. I'm also surprised that Mont Blanc doesn't send a cease and desist or other companies to protect their copyrights. I did a search and virtually every pen has a copy that's close to it. We know some of them, like the X1 and, of course, the X159. Excuse me. I would even say that there's a bit of an issue with the Sailor 1911L and the Mont Blanc 146. These guys are identical. Now, I'm not sure which one came first. I would think the Sailor, since it's a 1911, but did it always look like that? I haven't researched this, but my criticism is not just leveled toward brands out of Asia. It's any of these. So it would include something like that. I don't know. I know in the older days, riffing off a pen was a little less verboten than it is now. But there's an accounting there somewhere between that Sailor and that Mont Blanc 146, whichever came first. And I've heard different versions of that. I know the 149 goes back to like 1954. The 146 looks like a scaled down version of that, but that's an assumption. The 1911, maybe that goes back to 1911 looking exactly like that. But it may have changed. But whatever it is, copies, it's lazy, it's dishonorable, and it's just a shadow of what it could be. It's not that. It's just that it's just not a way to get a Grail pen if you want a Grail pen by getting a copy. It's like wearing a fake Rolex. You just kind of know that what you have isn't the right thing. It's just a duplicate. It might be a nice pen, but I would urge these developers of fountain pens to make an original design. It's one thing I like about a brand like Magna Carta. They make some original designs. And occasionally they riff off of something traditional with some stacked resin to look like a Vacuumatic, or a Red Ripple ebonite to look like an old Waterman 52. But they're not copies. They're originals. I do appreciate that. I don't know. I guess I'm asking the question. I'm not making a prescription. I'm not saying don't. I don't say that on this channel. I don't say don't do stuff. I just say, what do you think? And consider it. That's me. Let me look at some of your comments, though, and see if we can get even some more layers onto this conversation. Let me see. Allie J's got a long comment here. Let's see what Allie J has to say. I do wonder, though, a shape is difficult to be unique to a pen. The 1911 146 are both cigars, and I think they're different enough. Allie J, it's interesting. If you take the 1911 and the 146 and you put them side by side, the only difference really is the branding. The rings are about the same. All the dimensions look pretty much the same. Now, I did just buy calipers. Guys, I'm pretty excited about this. I have calipers now, so I can measure it, and we could actually compare apples to apples. But many of these pens are riffs on each other. They're directly taken, even cast from the other. Remember that crazy pink pen I have, the Glamour? That's similar to like two other pens. It seems like Platinum and sometimes Pilot, Platinum, and some other brands, they had very similar designs, like they're having conversations with each other. But there's definitely a difference between homage and outright casting or copying. I tried the lid of my X159 on my 149. They were that close, but it didn't work. So at least it's that much unique. But I do agree, Allie J, that you have a basic cigar design, but think of all the other pens that have taken that and riffed on it. You could improve on it. Imagine if the X159 had moved the metal to the edge of the cap. That would have been an improvement. And it would have made it distinct enough to make it more of an original design. You could do that and change the clip, and it's wholly unique, in my humble opinion. If somebody takes something and improves it, I think that is a wellspring of creativity. My friend Ben Walsh over at Gravitas took the basic design of the Pilot 823 and turned it into his own design by reinforcing where the 823 breaks and making it a wholly unique pen. That's inspiration and taking it to the next level. And if you put those two pens together, they do not look like the same pen. So I do appreciate that. Ooh, let me recognize someone. The lovely Rob Morrison. Super chat $10. Thank you, Rob. Mont Blanc is notoriously litigious. They sue anybody who uses their thin, thick cap pattern, for example. I'm sure if they had grounds, doubtfully they'd have gone after Sailor. Yeah, well, or Sailor going after them, right? I want to be fair. By the way, I love both those pens. The Sailor 1911L is on my desk. Rob, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. It helps keep the lights on. Thank you all for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I do love both of those pens, so I'm not casting dispersions on those. I just think we should know, maybe I need to do more research, but we should know. There should be a definitive answer, which came first. And not based on who we wish came first, but who did. Penzan says the Jinhao 9019 is one of the best pens in my collection. I have one of those. It's pink, and that's not a copy of anything, is it? If it is, let me know. I'd love to say that's one of their original designs. My 9019 or 9019 or however you want to say it, 9019 writes splendidly. So I'd love to think that's an original design. So there we have it. Kent says Pilot stole vacuum filling from Schaefer. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Man, I don't know. And I think that's probably something too. Their licensing should have been paid if there was a new technology. I'm not sure how that works. So this is funny. So David, you're going to see this in a few minutes. David Yamiras says, I'm kind of funny. I'm watching the video a few minutes behind and the chat's giving me a heads up of the discussion. I do that with people's live streams. So I can appreciate that. So I guess, at the end of the day, I would never tell you guys not to do anything. And I would never tell myself not to do it, because if I come out with a review of one of these, everyone's going to be in the comments saying, hey, what about that video? Everything I say is on the record. There's precedence, right? So I allow myself space to contradict myself, but I think it's a conversation that's worth having. Whether or not this is where we should be putting our attention when there's so many great original pens out there. Now, Kent is saying it's a copy of the Emperor, but is it though, really? Like, is it a one-to-one copy? Because I've seen an Emperor, and I see it kind of big, but is it like a one-to-one? I don't know. I don't have an Emperor, so maybe it is. Maybe it is. Well, that's sad for Jinhao. They really should come up with an original design because it's embarrassing for them if they haven't. Because all the Jinhaos I know are spin-offs of other pens. But there you have it, guys. Controversial topic. At the end of the day, do what you like. I don't tell you guys what to do. I just like to talk about these things. I find it interesting, and my mind's not wholly made up. But I can say that I am not completely comfortable with purchasing copies of other pens. And I don't think that there's any kind of substitution for a Grail pen. A Pelikan M1000 is unique, wholly unique. Copy away, world. Every pen brand make a copy of it. You ain't going to do it. The M1000 is unique and amazing. Visconti Homo sapiens, in my research, there was a copy of that. Good luck. Good luck. That pen is so unique. Yeah, and it's Dante Del Vecchio. Leave the guy alone. He's a genius of pen design. And, we love him. Tom Morley says, some designs are patents that have expired. Example, Vanishing Point. Has the Vanishing Point expired? That patent was from 1964, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's why all the pens in the last year came out that are like that. But, yeah, somebody did copy it one-to-one. But, what was it? The Curitas? What was that other one that came out? That was a unique design. It was similar, but it was unique. So, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah, Julio Ramirez makes a good point. Yeah, Jinhao does have some unique designs. I have that crazy dragon pen that they came out with. That is a unique design. And you could defend yourself in a street fight with that pen. You just throw it at someone and you're going to win. It weighs like 5 pounds. But there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, guys, if you could give me a like, I'd appreciate it. It brings more people into the conversation. And if you're watching, please subscribe. If you like provocative pen talk, just don't feel any way attacked by this. These are topics, and it shouldn't make you uncomfortable. Just have a point of view and come at me in the comments with your opinion. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. I've been married a long time, so I'm fairly used to being wrong and admitting I'm wrong. That is the secret of a really healthy relationship, is when you can admit you're wrong. And we have a relationship. So I'm not going to sit here and be like I'm the one with all the answers, because I'm learning. This is a journey for me. It started 30 years ago, but I'm learning all the time. I revise my opinions. There are pens that I love and then I don't like them. There are a whole bunch of things that I have changed my mind on. So change my mind, all right, in the comments. Just be polite. I'm polite. I'm polite to you. Don't be hysterical like folks last week. Let's see what Kaylee says. Kaylee's got a long comment. We love Kaylee. There is no such thing as a Grail pen that exists outside of a person's wants. Grails are different to different people. Example, some folks might think a Mont Blanc 149 is a Grail, but not for me. Yeah, I think that's true. I do think, and I've obsessed over this on many episodes, that there's an element to Grail pens that has to have sacrifice. There has to be a stretch. I don't think a Grail pen is like a Bic Crystal. It's just too easy. Oh, it's my Grail. Well, it's right there. There's 5 behind the couch. I think it has to have a little bit of sacrifice. It has to be something that you strive and stretch for, and you hope gives you some measure of illumination, right? But remember, As sure as the true grail gives you life, the false grail will take life from you. So you must choose wisely, Kaylee. Choose wisely. And the ultimate grail, there is one ultimate grail fountain pen, guys. One. Sorry. Whatever you think it is, you're wrong. I'm sorry. It's the Waterman Edison. It's the ultimate grail pen, let me tell you. I'm being mostly funny. Mostly funny. All right, I'm going to see if my camera setup is working. Because we know that nope, not working. I'm so sorry, guys. Ecamm is so terrible. I know I say that every week, but it really is. But I want to show you these tarot cards. I promised. And I think we've beaten the main topic to death. Let me see if I can get this working. Try. Come on, baby. Oh, okay. That's not bad, right? Everyone see that? There we go. We got something. All right. So here's our first tarot card. Oh, I hate to do this to you, but I need to raise it up. Let me see if I can get in frame. There we go. Alrighty then. So this, I promised you guys, and a lot of you in the comments last week wanted to see them. These are very, very rare tarot cards from Italy that my wife picked up. I'm going to go back to me a second because I just want to put it on the right angle so that I can do this naturally without freaking out the perspective. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. So this one right here is the Tarocchi Marsigliesi. So this is a Marseille, a French tarot, sort of filtered through Italy. And it's knotted, so I'm going to just push it aside. Helene, if you're watching. These are leather, too, which is very, very cool. Okay, I'm not sure how this works. I'm being extra careful. So here we have it. Some really cool designs. Really neat on the back. So very, very interesting. My wife collects tarot. Are these, boy, Ecamm, you're killing me. You're going to give everybody a stroke with that. Oh, so sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go this way. Ecamm is the worst. So, these are them. Absolutely amazing. All made out of leather. Really fun, interesting designs. Very, very old. So this is one of them. She picked this up in a little shop in Florence. They're leather. They smell like leather. Absolutely beautiful. So, very cool ones. Okay, next one. This one goes to 1850. Beautiful cover. Wax seal. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Forget the story on these. She told me, I forgot already. It does say that it's from Florence. Very, very old fashioned. I think this one is an amalgam of medieval Italian cards and the Marseille deck. So it has some extra cards in it. Because there's like 90 cards here instead of 78. But you can see that these are beautifully rendered. And you'll see these in B-roll on the channel if I can borrow them from her. There's the Hanged Man. It's pretty neat. And this must be Death. Very interesting. So, very gorgeously rendered, very interesting cards. Some of them are a little challenging because they're not recognizable. By the way, if anybody knows anyone at Ecamm, tell them that their product is horrible. It's just the worst ever. Okay, so this is from 1700 and also has a wax seal. I completely forget what these are. But she said it was in a small edition out of Milan. I remember that. But that's about it. Now, these are also very, very old-fashioned, which is very, very cool. Aren't these really pretty? Is that the world? I think so. Yeah. Le Monde. Justice. So they're starting to look like Smith. Wait. La Luna. Interesting. These look like they're in either Latin or French. Ooh, the tower. So these are very, very beautiful. Death. Death isn't the worst card, by the way. If you guys are knowledgeable at all about tarot, it's really kind of a rebirth card. It's not always terrible. There's the Hermit. So these feel very medieval, very lived in. They're also very tactile. They smell good. They have a nice feel to them. Very nice. It's in Italian. Tarocchi di Massalia non è originario di Massalia, così la variante conosciuta con il nome la tarocca di Berlusconi e Colice alla cittadini francese. So it's based on a French deck, which is kind of neat. Okay, one more. And I saved the best for last. So you're not going to want to bail on this one. Look at this. This is crazy. I wish I had bought this. This came from a very small, beautiful shop. I think this came from the, was it d'Arte Ciompi or Ciompi d'Arte? Right by Santa Maria dei Fiori in Florence. So very, very cool. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess it slides out the bottom. So I believe my wife said that this is a deck that is in a museum in Italy. And it's the only complete deck, I think, from the 1500s. No, it's actually, it says right on it, Solobusca 1494. So it's a complete deck from the 15th century. And these are really interesting because they're a little hairy. If you see, there's some things that they're a little rough cut, which is really beautiful. Has a beautiful sort of tree of life on the back. Oh, Miss Dan says Latte di Ciompi. So I was close. I have a terrible memory sometimes. By the way, my second camera is just freaking out. It shouldn't be doing that, but Ecamm. What can I do? I need to learn a whole new streaming. But these are beautiful. So I'm going to show you a few more of these. Very dark, very mysterious. These, look at that. So fun. I really like these. I want to see if I can find some more dramatic ones for you. This is pretty great. You know what they remind me of a little bit? I don't know if you guys are following me on this. Don't they remind you a little bit of Hieronymus Bosch and his work? Oh, this is interesting. It's like a duke and a Roman emperor. So I'm being very careful not to knock these out of order, because I know my wife hates that. So we want her to be happy, because she was kind enough to lend these to me for this broadcast. It's like a centaur. So what do you think? Do you guys like this? I hope you do. I hope you do. Because I do. I think these are pretty great. Pretty great. So there you have it. We got a new video this week on Thursday on my top 5 favorite fountain pens. It's always fun to kind of list my favorites and why, and to always be brave enough. I always strive to be brave enough to list the one that's just like my favorite above all of them. And it changes. It's been the Montblanc Egyptomania for a long time. Will that stay there? Will it stay high on the list? Well, you'll have to wait till Thursday to find out. And if you haven't watched last week's video, it was the Pelican M800 versus the Pelican M1000. Which one is better? Which one is right for you if you're choosing between them? And it was hard. I own both and I love them both. And it was very hard to pick one, but I do pick one. So let me know what you think of those. I will be excited to hear your opinion. And if you have an idea for a streaming service I should use, it has to do interviews as well, which is why I picked Ecamm. But Ecamm's been so bad lately, it's just unusable. So I'm going to have to bail out at some point. So there you have it. On that exciting bombshell, I believe it's time to end. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's provocative discussion. And stay tuned for more of this. If you made it through the hour, please subscribe and consider becoming a member if you want to join our pen pal group for Cognoscenti and Illuminati members. So I always make videos. I have my live show, so I can promise you we will see each other again very, very soon further up the road. So take care of yourself, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye now.